Hello everyone, my name is Ashley93oBTW and this is Control. This is a game developed by Remedy Entertainment. If you haven't heard of them, you probably heard of games such as Max Payne, Alan Wake, and Quantum Break. Joined with me on my couch is, if you guys want to introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm MikeWave. I did Avowed earlier this week. I do not run this game, but I think I am like friends of most of the prominent runners for this game, so I've learned a lot about it, and I'm glad I have. It's a really sick run.
I'm Nova. I'm just here to inspire Bucky, to inspire Ashley93oBTW to finish the run.
And I'm sweetpeebs. I'm an Alan Wake 2 runner, and I know the lore of this game.
All right, so I am so excited to show this run. It has not been, this category specifically has not been seen at a mainline GDQ since 2020, and it is a completely different run since then. But real quick, I just want to show off the cool new movement tech that we have been cooking up recently. Shout outs to Art and Care, who found all of this. And more importantly, shout outs to my friend Malgrab, who helped me develop this tool so I can actually visualize the speed, disable encounters, and do all this sorts of good stuff. I wanted to show it off before we get going because there's not really a good place in the run to really break this down. So how this is going to work is we do a melee and do a dash, and we sort of cancel each other out. If you look at the top, you'll see that Jesse sprints at about 7 meters, I assume, per second or per hour, I don't know. But whenever we dash, we go up to about 25, and it bleeds off really quickly. So whenever we do a wave dash, we get to up to 12, but it takes much longer to slow down. Shamelessly stolen that terminology from Super Smash Bros. Melee. The other one that you're going to see a lot more often is a super wave dash, and that's going to look like this. Or like this if I do it well. And that's pretty much what you're gonna see throughout the run. So if you just see random bursts of speed from Jesse, that is more than likely what that is. So without further ado, we're gonna uncheck some boxes, then check another suspicious one, and then get going. Time is gonna start after she says this is gonna get weirder than normal.
Weirder than usual.
All right, after I skip this cutscenes, I'll count you down. 3, 2, 1,
go.
All right, so peeps, who are we? What are we doing here? And what's going on?
So this is Jessie Faden. She's very beautiful, played by the wonderful Courtney Hope. She has been looking for her brother Dylan, who was abducted by some mysterious government folks in 2002. She has been aided by a mysterious entity named Polaris, and she's made her way to New York to the Federal Bureau of Control to search for her dear twin brother Dylan, who is bald.
I've been trying to pull it down ever since.
And I have a whole list of just random items. I don't really have time to talk about, the Young's Collective Unconscious, so I just have a bunch of random stuff anytime you call for more lore.
Well, first of all, what are we about to walk into here, if you want to just put that in your own words?
All right, so they're our bosses, basically, the board in the astral plane. They pick the new director in a very special way that we will not elaborate on, but if you know, you know. So let's...
We're just going to talk about the service weapon. That is going to be our first object of power. Jesse has the power to, the ability to harness the power from objects of power by touching them. The service weapon is going to be our primary weapon throughout the game, and it's a service weapon because it needs servicing, because this gun does not shoot straight as it shoots like rocks or something. I don't really know what's wrong with it. Want to talk about ammo, Nova?
Yeah, see, we can get about 15 shots before we need to regenerate ammunition, and a lot of the run is going to be shooting and melee, because if we run out of ammo, it's about, what would you say, 5 seconds of waiting?
Something like that. Feels like an eternity.
Yeah, it feels like forever. So it's going to be a lot of managing the ammo and managing energy conservation, as we will be introduced later.
And then these are the enemies that we're going to be fighting throughout the game.
That's a hiss.
It's a hiss, yep. Another thing that you're going to see throughout the early levels especially is what are called spawn manipulation. So basically the location that enemies spawn in is based on where the camera is, where it's pointing. So we're going to turn back while running into this room. So these guys spawn over here by the door. We're going to clear them out as fast as we can, turn this way so this guy spawns over here, shoot this guy down, finish this guy off, and then we're going to double melee these two.
That was clean.
Thank you. Coming in here, we're going to shoot this guy on the back left because he likes to drop down behind some cover. Oh, we didn't get him. That's fine. We're going to run it back in a second. Clear out these two. All right, we're out of ammo. So we're gonna stun lock this guy, double tap him, finish him off with some headshots. And that is the intro. That was pretty clean, I would say.
Pretty good.
So who's talking to us here?
That is Director Zechariah Trench. He is the former director. He is no longer with us, but using the hotline, he can kind of give us a little bit of advice, direct us where we need to go. And this is a control point. This stabilizes parts of the oldest house that have been all, wibbly wobbly. It also acts as our fast travel point.
Fast travel point and checkpoints for sure. Yeah. Coming out of the Left 4 Dead survivor closet here, we're going to be unleashing like most of our staff, especially our key character, Emily Pope.
Girlfriend.
We're going to be circling back to her and filling her in with what's going on. But first, everyone around the Bureau has been infected by the hiss. The ones that haven't are protected by HRAs, which they're wearing around her vest. Jesse had just tried to cleanse an employee that has been possessed and unfortunately is unable to, so they were killed in the process. And then you saw me quit to menu, and that's going to be our means of resetting checkpoint. So you're going to see that a lot throughout the run just because it saves walking. So then coming through here, we're going to look this way so this guy spawns here. Going to kill this one as fast as possible and then sit here and pray. All right, we got the good spawns there.
That was good. The combat in this game is pretty unique, as in when you kill enemies, they drop health, so you can play almost as fast as you want. The limiting factor only being your energy and your ammunition. So if you're just an absolute gamer like he just showed off, you can just keep going as fast as you want.
Yeah, the enemies will drop health, so as long as you're rushing them down and pushing them up in the face, then you get whatever health you lose back quite quickly. And then we cleanse our second control point. Not only are we progress gated, but we're going to be using that to fast travel back to Central in a second. But here's the best sound.
Bonk.
Best sound in the run, by far.
His injuries were not service related.
Yeah, no grievances there. And then here's a little dev intended trick. Oh, we're gonna mess that up. Let's run it back here.
Dev intended exploration now.
Indeed, we're learning right now.
Everything I have learned, it seems like this ladder is just an absolute menace.
We got it though.
And so now, because the logic of this game is so cool, we touch a floppy disk and now we have the power to throw objects with our mind. And that is going to be our primary means of damage throughout the rest of the run. Do you want to talk about your primary contribution, besides myself, to this game?
You knew I was going to say it. My one contribution to this run is finding this one box that collats two of them right here. But launch is a really cool ability we're going to see throughout the entire run. We upgraded a few times so we can keep one-shotting enemies, but a lot of the trick with it is pulling objects through enemies so we can launch them back at them. So it'll double hit them, and that does a lot of damage. So as much as he can, he's going to try and push or pull as many things through as many enemies as possible.
And then here we're setting up for our very first prop clip. Just like that, and that's going to skip the first boss fight. We got that first try.
That's clean.
And now I just want to take a chance to hand it over to our host if you want to fill us in on what's going on.
Oh, fantastic. It would be my pleasure. First, I wanted to both remind everyone that we have the bonus DLC levels incentive open for Pac-Man Championship Edition DX, and the control community is already showing up in force to help us meet that. We are at 86%, so I am very confident, Twitch chat and folks in the crowd, that we can hit that before this block is over. So please make sure to get your donations in gdq.gg/donate and help us get that incentive. We also have some lovely messages here from the community. We have a $50 donation from Cass that says, Ash, I'm so incredibly happy to have you representing Control on the big stage. No one has done more for our little community, and likely no one ever will. You're a wonderful human, a brilliant teacher, an incredible speedrunner, and only slightly less pretty than Emily Pope. Good fun, have fast, go luck. P.S. Hey Peebs, hey Mike, hey Nova.
Hi.
You got time for more?
Oh, it would be my pleasure. We have $50 from Motos that says, The word that describes this is donation. Repeat the word. The name of the sound. It resonates in your house. After the song, time for applause. Good luck, fast run to Ashley, our runner protagonist. Thank you, Motas.
We got time for 2 more.
You got it. We have $25 from Failed Uplink saying, Control is an amazing game. Good luck, Ashley, but I know you won't need it. Show them how it's done. We also have $10 from Bob Loves Cheese. I mean, really, who doesn't? Good luck from the crowd. So happy you get to show off such an incredible speedrun, Ash. I love playing Control casually, and learning the inbound speedrun was a ton of fun. If any of you haven't tried out the game, please give it a shot. Thank you so much, everyone, for your fantastic donations to Doctors Without Borders.
I recognize like most of those names, and I love every single one of them. Thank you so much, guys. All right, so this is where things are going to get a little funky because this game has the most interesting trick in the world. So we're actually going to quit out, and we're going to run a bat file I prepared for this run. And what that's going to do is that's going to crank our resolution up to 8K resolution. The computer they gave me is actually better than the one I was expecting. So we have to push things. Oh, it didn't actually apply. Okay, we're gonna run that back here. We're gonna double click it a couple times so we make sure it works. So we actually have to crank our resolution really high for this trick to work. It is not frame rate dependent. It's like the game has to run bad naturally, and I don't really understand why. Maybe we never will. Who knows? Never say never, right? And that's just running really bad. So I'm just gonna try and hide that there. Yeah. This is what PC gaming is about, right, guys?
Hiding the frame rate counter.
Yep. All right, so what this is gonna look like is we're gonna go for a menu overlap here. Oh, okay. All right, we're gonna play a cutscene. And then we're gonna hit the floor.
Like I said before, the janitor is a friendly face.
Are you kidding me? Oh, no. Of all the things, I'm just kidding, guys.
Beautiful.
And we got a first try, guys. Oh
Let's
my
go.
God. So this trick is sliding McGunny. It unloads Jesse's player model, and that gives us the ability to clip our camera through walls. It has never been seen first try at a mainline GDQ event, so that is actually the hypest thing in this run, probably. So we're gonna use that to open this door right there. This game kind of has Metroidvania-like mechanics where if you unlock doors, they're going to stay unlocked later. And additionally, having Jesse's player model unloaded actually makes some prop clips a little bit trickier, so I'm just gonna clear those guys out just so they
But they're
don't
a lot
bother me.
cooler.
Indeed, indeed. All right, so we're gonna drop down here, run into this fight. And fun fact, that control point back there is actually broken if you just run to this point of the game, like from the start. Not sure why, we might learn soon. Like I said, my buddy Malgrab has been working really hard at reverse engineering this game, so that's very exciting. He texted me the other morning saying, oh hey, so I figured out how the scripting system works. So that's cool. So yeah, another interesting side effect is Jessie doesn't actually get to play any of her lines, of her dialogue lines. So normally she'd be talking right about here, but it's just gonna be dead silence, which gives me time to yap a little bit about how this is a side quest that we're going to do 1 out of 2 side quests in this mission, and those are both going to give us our primary means of movement. This is the dash ability. Pretty straightforward, and as I showed before, this is going to give us access to wave dash tech. And then the next ability that we're going to go out of our way to get is shield. So how is shield a movement ability? Does anyone want to weigh in on that?
You pick up some rocks and you float through the walls.
Something like that. It's pretty interesting, and you'll see it in a little bit. But here, oh, okay, hold on.
We didn't fall and die.
We didn't fall and die. There we go. First super wave dash of the run.
Also, dashing and launch both take energy, so he has to figure out fight between like killing enemies and being able to move fast and dodge bullets coming at him. And that's where a lot of the thought comes in.
Yeah, there's definitely a whole element of resource management in this run that you're going to see here.
A lot of the fun part of this run is it's mostly like on the fly, impromptu fighting.
Uh-oh. Okay. So I think we missed a trigger out of bounds, but that's fine. We're gonna go out of our way. We're gonna grab shield. and then we're gonna go back and hit those triggers. Usually that red wall despawns, and that's how we know that we set up the trick right, but I must have missed the out of bounds trigger, which is fine. We're just gonna come here, we're gonna wait for our energy to refill. Come here for safety, drop down. All right, this is always scary because you're kind of just dropping into the void.
Dropping into nothingness.
Yep, and then this is a whole obstacle course that we're just kind of skipping. We're gonna have to hit this thing twice since we're a little under-leveled. Pull this railing out of the way. And then if you have any donations, you can start reading them now.
Absolutely. And we even had this one that didn't come through PayPal, but just kind of showed up on my desk. It's $6.65 from someone, and it says, best wishes from a collaborator on day 665, Director Faden. So whoever that is out there, thank you so much. We appreciate your donation.
Neighbor of the Beast.
Neighbor of the Beast. We also have $50 from the Crank Machine, a decidedly different tone. This runner has got the situation under control, making sure that no one can get bored. Hysterical puns aside, this game is one of my greatest influences for video game writing, and I love it very much. Thank you for running it, Director.
That's awesome.
Oh.
Time for any more?
Yeah, we got lots of time. I got to run back through the level and hit a couple triggers, so.
All right. We have $100 from Alright.
Ooh.
Hey, all right. Go ahead.
They say, thank you for getting a wonderful co-panelist and controller. Good luck. Donation goes to Runner's Choice. Thank you so much for that donation. We are already at 92%. We have climbed considerably from the last time I spoke. Thank you folks so much. Let's keep it going. We can hit that well before the end of this run, and I know that you can get us there. We also have $100 from Ton Spender, who says, in big bold letters across the screen, Ati. Yeah, we absolutely accept claps for Ati in this oldest house. And thank you so much, Ton Spender.
So who is Ati, Peebs?
Ati is a mysterious figure who may or may not be a Finnish water god of some sort. And he actually is the janitor here at the oldest house. He cannot go on vacation until Jesse clears the toilet clog. He's a little cross about that. You know, he'd really, really love to get on his vacation.
Speaking of Ati.
There he is. Shout out to Ati.
All right, so unfortunately, I don't know how to back that up with the out-of-bounds routing without doing that fight. So usually we would have skipped that fight, but it's okay. We got more time to talk about donations. But now this is where the slidey routing would usually look. We just go straight through the door that we opened early on, and then we are at the end of the level. So this is a huge skip that we call lazy assistant because the power plant is actually not doing too good right now. There's actually a lot of things wrong with it, and it might go into overload. And if you see, the screens still say coolant systems disabled, energy converters overloading, but that's fine. We're just gonna lift the lockdown and be on our way.
Ati's not getting his vacation.
Indeed.
What a gorgeous game. Thank you, Remedy.
The Brutalist architecture is really cool.
All right, we're gonna say hi to Emily, and then we're gonna be off to the old boys club.
You made it. And you lifted the
Let's go, lesbians. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
So we're gonna go into our abilities. We're gonna max out our launch, and then we're also gonna grab energy 2 and health 1. We did all those upgrades because we don't usually get the ability points from all 3 side missions like we do with this routing. But we usually max out launch for one specific enemy type that we're going to point out when we get there. But first is going to be the first shield glide that you'll see throughout the run. If anyone wants to talk over this.
So you have to unload the area, right?
Unload the area and it reloads around you, yep.
So using the control points, we can fast travel between 2 points and we can unload certain parts of the map. And if we use shield, we can essentially glide through the map, which is why we call it shield gliding. And fun fact, this young man right here basically invented the tech.
So we're basically surfing through all the progression triggers we need. Thank you.
That was clean.
Thank you, thank you. And then this is a force combat. So that is the enemy that we upgrade our launch ability for. As long as that thing is alive, it will kill every enemy in the area. So we want to nuke that as fast as we can. Take out these flyers as well because they like to dodge. Excuse me, die, okay.
And the gun doesn't shoot straight.
Oh, there's a guy left over here. Yeah, look at that bloom right there. Lovely, isn't it?
It's perfect. It's just testing Faden.
Might this be a good time for a poetic donation?
1 second.
You got it.
This is a cool fight with Big Man here.
Yeah, you're also going to see the 2 mods that we have guaranteed come into play. That is what the suspicious checkbox I hit earlier is responsible for. Basically, we get 2 mods. We have energy recovery, which speeds up how fast our energy bar recovers, and energy renewal on our weapon, which refills our energy bar each time we get a headshot. So anytime there's a tanky enemy in the area, I'm actually going to use him as a resource to take out the other enemies as fast as I can. And then now we can hear a poetic donation.
Fantastic. We have from BPRD Roger, $20 and a limerick. Director Faden, inside of the house, found a cause much too worthy to grouse. With a checkbook in hand, she fulfilled a command from a hotline to a destitute mouse. Thank you so much, Roger. Thank you for the snaps. Time for one more?
No, because we're going into a pretty big fight right there.
All right.
So just then we skipped a fight with an elevator, or outside of the elevator, and a pretty long elevator ride. And then we're gonna say hello to Marshall here.
Hey, Marshall.
Hey, Marshall.
Hi, Marshall.
Marshall said, go help the guys in the next room, so that's what we're gonna do. Once again, we're gonna take out nukes out as fast as we can. And then talk about the spawn maps here.
So a big thing about the spawn manips here is we don't want the guys running around the pillar and behind them because that takes a lot of time. So he's trying to basically make them spawn all up by the control point up there.
Yep, that's wave 2. Excuse me.
And he's trying to pull objects through as many people as he can, like he just got a triple collat. And that was clean.
Thank you, thank you. We're not done yet. I was just stage 1. Stage 2, we have this mini boss, and the manip kind of continues. We're gonna get around on the far side of him, just so the next wave of ads spawns up where we want them to.
And he's gonna keep abusing that headshot upgrade, so he can just keep launching here. And that was the mini boss.
Oh, where's the last guy? Hello? Yeah, we were talking about those pillars, huh? How about that?
That's exactly why we don't want them getting behind the pillars. But it was just one guy, so we got it.
All right, so now do we have any donations?
Absolutely. We have $5 from Wolfeye, who says, I woke up at 5 a.m. for you, and you gave me a blue screen heart attack. Speedrunning control and my sanity at the same time. GG. Thank you, Wolfeye. We also have $25 from Kat, who says, had to donate during one of my favorite games. If you've not played this yet, please do. The lore is amazing, and Ahti is the best. Glad to see this run at SGDQ, and best of luck to Ashley. And chat, we are getting so incredibly close to that bonus DLC levels for Pac-Man Championship Edition DX+. We are at 95%, so please just help us get there. A few more donos and that snipe can be yours.
This looks a bit more complicated.
So, Mike, how do you feel about puzzles?
I love puzzles.
What do you think about this puzzle?
It's just crazy that you just seem to know all the solutions off the top of your head.
This is actually
you're really good
a
at
random puzzle. The solution's different every time.
That's an incredible talent that you're just able to solve that just so efficiently.
Wink.
Wink. Wink. Yeah, he's just really fast.
So, actually, this is the HRA machine. The HRA machine is broken because it needs something called BlackRock, and now Marshall, he knows where our brother is, says that she won't help us until we go and get more BlackRock, so that's what we're going to go and do. We are going into Threshold, and this is honestly the hardest level in the entire run. So if anyone wants to comment on what's going on story-wise or what they're about to see.
Yeah, and so this is the quarry. It is a threshold, which is another dimension that is accessed through certain areas in the oldest house. And specifically here, so we need black rock to fix the HRAs, which keep the hiss out. And it is almost impenetrable. We learn in Alan Wake 2 that it's not. Spoiler alert, sorry. But now Jessie she's got to go get more so we can make more HRAs so that we can find more survivors within the oldest house.
Like you do with me.
And here is the Ocean View Motel, excuse me. I'm thinking Alan Wake 2 terms.
So this level is pretty much broken in half. We basically just sequence break and only hit the necessary progression triggers that we need. So we actually start out, we go to the first area that we need to hit, and then we're going to quit out and then shield to pretty much the last area and then go back and clean up whatever we left behind.
Every new ability we get in this game, we just break it in half. We haven't even seen Shieldy fully unleashed yet.
Yeah, another nuance with shield movement is since we don't have our levitate ability yet, we don't really have a cushion under us, and so there's a lot of potential for Jessie to just start falling and then go splat. So that's just a very real thing that we have to look out for here. Once we get levitate, the only thing that we can really die when doing these shield glides is hitting death triggers.
And am I correct in thinking that this trick has never before been seen on the GDQ main stage?
It has not been seen on the GDQ stage before. No, this is the one I'm most nervous about, but we're gonna give it our best shot here. This is Banshee Skip.
We're gonna one-shot it.
You got this.
We'll see.
No, you were practicing earlier in the day. You got it. Every time.
So we're gonna drop on the safer and we're gonna wait for our energy to refill. We're gonna pull up shield, drop down. Oh, okay, we got shot straight up. We're gonna try and land back on the, okay, beautiful. We're just gonna waste some time here because we need the area over here to deload, so. Okay, round 2.
And while he's doing this, he has to hit, I think, 3 specific triggers, and we won't know if he hit them until after he reloads and we see the dude spawn in the Black Rock Quarry.
That seemed good, but I've had better attempts fail, so we're gonna see how that goes.
Just cross your fingers.
All right, we missed something.
And we didn't get it.
We did not get it.
Second try. We can get it on our second try.
You can do that, yeah. I never thought about it, but you can do it on your second try.
It still counts in my book. And I know he's making it look easy, but the shieldy movement is not easy to do. Like, he makes it look like you can just go wherever you want, and you kind of can, but it's really hard. Oh.
All right, take 2 here. I'm feeling better about that one.
Fingers crossed again.
There we go.
And we got it.
Nice.
That trick is so ridiculously hard. Like Nova was saying, it looks like you can go wherever you want. You really can't. You are constantly fighting the game, wanting to push you up. For various reasons, the way that shield physics work is that we basically make the shield solid. And when Jessie's stuck inside of something, The game wants to push you up. We almost died
That
there.
was a clean dodge right there.
And that is something the devs actually have a name for. So the devs call the behavior where Jessie is stuck inside of something and it pushes her up, they call that penetration resolution. And we're going to be very mature both in the chat and in the crowd and in the donation messages about that terminology.
You're welcome, mods.
Their name, not ours.
All right, so in the story, we just went to the Blackrock quarry, we got more Blackrock, brought it back to Marshall, said, oh, hey, you can make the laser tag HRA vest with this, and she says, okay, your brother's down in the dungeon, so we're gonna go down to the dungeon.
And he's bald.
And he's bald.
And he's bald.
Shout outs to bald people.
Time for a quick donation.
Yeah.
Excellent. And a quick reminder to folks, we are so incredibly close to those bonus DLC levels for Pac-Man. Just $198. That's practically nothing, Twitch chat. If you want to snipe that, that can very well be yours. We also have $50 here from Pattern Match, who says, the board admires your skill obsession. Please accept this donation bribe for your worthy cause. We wish you success, PBs. Thank you, Pattern Match / the board.
All right, so right here, we're gonna set up for another first time, never before seen on the GDQ stage trick. We're gonna level up energy as much as we can, blow up this forklift and come up here. Okay, it's just gonna back down on us, huh?
Didn't want to go?
Did not want to go. So this is another one. This was a pretty recent find by Arden Kerrigan. If we can get out of bounds, thank you. All right, so we're gonna warp over here, pull up shield, and then dash under these stairs. And that's gonna give us shield movement. We're gonna try to hit. Okay, we went a little bit too high, so we're gonna run that back. Oh, okay, thank you.
And we're in bounds.
We're back in bounds.
That
huh?
easy. Time for the trusty forklift.
Oh, it was just waiting for us, right?
It's ready.
It's ready.
Yay.
Forklift certified. We love you, forklift. Let's go.
Let's go for it.
All right, that's one trigger. There's another along the fire break here. Also, shout out to Fire Break, a pretty neat game that just came out. And we're gonna shoot. We're gonna make sure that this thing is solid, perfect. Yeah, because the meshes actually load in before their collision do. So if you ever see me shooting the ground before I land on it, that is why I'm waiting for it to actually be fully loaded in, so we don't void out. Now, the unfortunate thing about this skip is it's just like the last one. We don't know if we hit it until we go up to the next floor. So we're gonna come over here to this elevator shaft. We're gonna zip straight up, hit another progression trigger, and then curve back around over here, and we got it.
Nice. First try.
So Mike, I want to hear in your words, how would you describe this boss fight we're about to go into from what you see me do in the practice room?
It's 4 in the morning. I'm trying to remember.
Do you remember which one it is?
I do not.
It's the one where we're stuck in the air.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So would you call this a fight?
I just want to say we really love AI breaks, especially for bosses that were genuinely pretty tough in the casual playthrough.
Yeah, this guy's tough, but fortunately, clipping up through the floor and then going to the spot where we start the fight actually just wigs out his AI. And so he's just stuck in the air, and we're gonna use him as a resource to regenerate our energy bar and nuke all the small enemies because their AI actually works.
That sounds awesome when you're just rapid firing the launch ability.
Yep. And just like that was the hardest boss fight in the game, in my opinion, casually. So now we have the ability to fly because we touched the TV. How does that correlate to flying? Peebs?
Well, do you want the technical term or do you?
I don't care. I just want to hear more about story, okay?
All right, so we've got altered items. They're altered by altered world events. Don't worry about what that is. But then there are other items called objects of power, and they may or may not be tied to the board. Emily Pope seems to think otherwise, and also we don't trust the board anymore. Spoiler alert. Anyway, they give people magic powers. I just wanted to explain that a little bit more in depth. Also, we love Benikoff TV.
We love Benikoff TV. And now, after we've dealt with that, we're going to go and see what's going on with our brother now that his cell is supposedly open. Open is just a suggestion to us, since I guess we can phase through walls and go wherever we want, but we still have to follow the game's rules a little bit.
Sometimes.
We went straight up into the end trigger there. That was clean.
That was nice.
Nice.
So anyway, what just happened in that cutscene was we find out he's not there. In the midst of everything we just did, he wandered back to Central Executive where we just came from. So we're heading back to HQ to see what's going on here. And I'm sorry if you are an Emily Pope enjoyer. This skip actually just skips our final interaction with her.
I'm sorry, Peebs. It's okay. I know it's heartbreaking.
No, you know it's really heartbreaking. Skipping Langston.
That is rough.
So anyway, our brother is looking a little different these days. He's unfortunately been converted by the hiss.
They made him bald.
They made him bald. So now casually, all of that starts basically the longest level in the casual playthrough, and also the longest level in the inbound speed run, but we're going to try and surf through the whole thing. This is going to involve hitting 3 triggers, I believe. Okay, we got a fair bit of height, so we're gonna curve off to the right here. We're gonna try to bleed off some of it. Oh, we went really high. Okay. All right, there we go. So that's our first trigger. I'm gonna keep her going. This is the really long rotating bridge thing. That's our second trigger over the orange light.
And he's making this look easy, but it is not.
All right, so we won't know if we hit every trigger until we... Okay, we actually didn't. So I'm gonna improv a bit here. I'm gonna curve back out. I'm gonna go back to orange light. I'm gonna make sure we hit this. I'm gonna go back to green light here. And then I'm gonna see if that hit.
Okay, I just said this was hard, and you're making it look like you're playing.
And we got it. That is not a backup I even practiced, so.
That was awesome.
Could I jump in with a few quick donations?
Go for it.
Excellent. I also wanted to let folks know, still so incredibly close, creeping ever closer to those bonus DLC levels. $93 remaining, and not only that, but we are very devilishly close to 5.5, that's how that works, $550,000 raised for Doctors Without Borders. Under $500 to go until that fantastic number, so you can also help us hit that at the same time as working us towards those bonus DLC levels. We also have this donation that also did not come to the tracker, but I went to drink my water bottle and the water was replaced with a message from the Federal Bureau of Control. They donate $20 and say...
It's okay, we can just go straight back.
They say, subject, Ashley93oBTW. This object of power has been observed playing games at impossible speeds. Subject is currently contained at a hotel in Minnesota. Possible uses, raising money for charity. Thank you, FBC.
It's a good usage.
So an important thing about the combat dynamic in this game that I don't think we mentioned is that this game actually has one-shot protection. So even though we're a bit under-leveled for where we're supposed to be in this game at this point, we can't die from one hit from enemies. So if the game detects that we would die in one hit, it just stops it at 1 HP. So anytime you see blood on the screen, that means there is potential to die. And unfortunately there, I was gonna just stuck like a fish without water. Didn't really have any HP to pick up, and I stuck with just a flyer and some explodey boys. So we're gonna run that back here.
And launch just does so much damage.
Oh, I fat fingered there.
It's just another improv shieldy.
And that's how that fight's supposed to go. So Peeves, you want to talk about the projector and how it wasn't there?
So first I'd like to talk about Professor Baby Girl, Dr. Darling, and his alternative scientific ethics. So in 2002, there was an Altered World event in Ordinary Maine, and there was a slide projector with different slides accessing different dimensions through, different thresholds. And we're trying to find the slide projector to stop the hiss, because the hiss came through one of those slides. And also, just Dr. Darling has basically been torturing Jesse's twin brother this whole time. So, problematic fave, you know.
This Darling guy doesn't really sound like much of a darling. Doesn't sound like a good guy.
Maybe I'm on Bald Man's side.
Yeah, maybe he's onto something there. All right, so this is going to be where I need one of you guys with the timer.
I got it.
All right, you know when to start it?
Yep.
And now. All right, so this level is gated by, like, you're supposed to stay over here and fight while this tram takes its sweet time to come over to you. But because we know how to space our dashes and maximize our distance, we can go across pretty much immediately. However, the progression is gated by a trigger between this pillar and this pillar, which isn't going to be active until 90 seconds after we press that button. So that's what the timer is for. So Nova's going to tell me when to go at about 85 seconds after I press that button, and then we'll come back, hit the trigger, and then we will be ready to progress. In the meantime, if you have any donations to catch up on, by all means.
Boy, howdy. Not only do I have donations, but we have also met the Pac-Man bonus levels incentive. Thank you, everyone in the crowd, in Twitch chat, and everywhere else through time and space, inside and outside the Federal Bureau of Control. We also have plenty of lovely thoughts coming in. We have $25 from Mr. Let and Merwin saying, good luck, old friend. Love to see you there. Less than 3. Thank you, folks.
Those guys are the reason that we started routing shield into the game. If it wasn't for them, it probably still would have been like 6 minutes of time save on the table.
Incredible. We also have $15 that flutter down from the ceiling on a typewritten note from AW, which says, the streamer was surprised to suddenly hear narration and the sound of a typewriter in the donation message. Oh wait, that's the wrong game. Good luck with the run.
All right, so we're already 85 seconds are up, so that means we're going to go back, we're going to hit the trigger, and then we see the multimedia on the lower right, so that means we are free to progress.
There's something up ahead.
My second contribution to the run.
So that's finished Tango, the most boring level in the speedrun, and now we are on to Polaris. Polaris would normally start out with the ashtray maze, and if you play this game casually, you know what the ashtray maze is. If you haven't, you do not want that to be spoiled, so we are going to completely skip it.
I know, sorry.
Sorry, however, as you see me zoom across on the map here, you see the little red arrow on the map? And you see all the scribbles down south of that? Just know that is probably the coolest moment in the game down there, okay? So we're coming right to the end of it. We're gonna go for a little bit of extra height because this area is higher than where we started from. We're gonna come back inbounds, make sure our collision is loaded in. And
You just make it look so easy.
I'm actually gonna crank my settings for a little minute here. Not a super important minute, however, We were labbing a little something.
It's important to our hearts.
It's important to me, yes. So this is probably one of the most major sequence breaks in the run. Before this was found, this speedrun kind of lived and died at this section in the run where you have to cleanse 6 siphons in the head-run chamber with all sorts of enemies around, and optimally you don't really want to kill any of them. However, if you get out of bounds here, and we come over here and pull the bolts out of this door out of order, it's actually going to do something kind of interesting. So we're going to kind of feel around. Oh, going to feel around so we can pull this far one first. We're going to rip the rest of them off. And then the cutscene, we're kind of in a weird glitch state here where the cutscene has started playing, but not really because we haven't like progressed to that point yet. And then we're going to drop down here. We're going to click back inbounds using these TVs, like so. We're going to wave dash up here and slam into this door, and then this cutscene's going to play, and we can't skip this. Hands off the keyboard, we can't skip this. But this gives us a chance to say hello to our protagonist, hopefully, God willing. So everyone, get ready to say hi to Jessie. Hi, Jessie.
Hi, Jessie. She tried.
That's what the settings were for. Not sure. That did help a little bit. So we got 1 frame of hi.
That's all we needed.
But now this might be like the most stressful part of the run, conventionally speaking. So if someone wants to talk about the Siphon 4 here.
If you've ever played Counter-Strike and you know what ninja defusing means, we got about 3 of those coming up. He has to basically hold E on these siphons while there's enemies all around him, and they can interrupt him at any time if he takes damage. So he has to try and read the room to see if he will take damage and position himself well so he doesn't take damage.
This is looking bad.
And it's looking like...
Oh, we got it.
Nice.
No fighting on the marathon stage. Let's go.
Big man doesn't have an opinion today.
So coming up to Siphon 5, this one is a little bit safer. We're going to come up here, we're going to take out the sniper, and then as we pass by, we're going to nuke these enemies as far away as possible since they have line of sight of us when we're on this thing. Oh. You know what? I'm going to grab some health there just to be absolutely safe. This is another tricky one where if we clear out all those enemies, we're going to get a second wave with flyers, and we do not want that. But that's Siphon 5 done. We're going to go into Siphon 6. And this one is like a 90% certain that we're going to get this no problem, but you never know. It is GDQ. We might have a that's never happened before moment.
And sometimes
The funny phrase.
Sometimes Jessie likes to step up on the side just to make it easier for them because she's so cool.
Make it easier for her to get shot, yeah.
Yeah.
And that is $550,000 for Doctors Without Borders!
That is so perfectly timed because this is fake credits and I'm going to use this for my shout-outs. I'm going to start with my couch. Mike, it has been such a pleasure getting to know you this week. Thank you so much for coming, getting up at 5 a.m. to come couch for me and hanging out with me while I'm here at my first on-site GDQ. It has meant the world to me to get to know you better. Peebs, thank you so much for making time in between your schedule and being up here to yap about Controller because I know you love it so much. Nova, you have been my best friend for more than half of my life, and I'm going to try and tell you this without shedding a tear, but I love you from the bottom of my heart. You have funded my way here. You have supported me. You are the reason I'm into speedrunning, and I love you so much.
I love you too, buddy.
I want to give a huge shout out to the Control speedrunning community. I want to give a huge shout out to my family and all of my friends watching at home. You know who you are, and I love you all. So anyways, if you got to this point in the game casually and you saw this, you knew this wasn't real. And as you can tell, the credits are glitching out, and we're going to go right into Jessie's quite relatable nightmare of being an unpaid intern in corporate federal America. And we're tasked with doing chores, right? 3 rounds of chores. So we're going to start with the scanners here, and we're going to time this very particularly using an audio cue. This looks kind of slow, and to be honest with you, it is if you aren't tapping at the right rhythm. But it does wind up being faster since we have to do 2 sets of tasks on the first loop of this. And this scanner, for whatever reason, has no cooldown. So we're just going to hammer on it as fast as we can.
Let's go.
Mind if I shout out a quick dono?
Go for it.
It was a $311 donation from Dave Calzone that got us to that 550,000. Thank you, Dave Calzone. They say, thanks for helping me get through the night shift. Love the horror block.
We have time for more, no?
Yeah, we have time for more.
It would be my pleasure.
Forgotten something. I can't think.
We have $50 from Mr. Gamey, who says, I'd love to say I'm in control of my wallet, but here's another $50 to Doctors Without Borders. Let's go, Ashley. Good luck.
I don't want to be alone here.
Keep them coming.
We have this $25 donation from Erica Lawless saying, I first learned about control because of a GDQ run, so I'm always happy to see it being run. Best of luck to the runner. Thank you, Erica.
I'm going to stuff in one more shout out that I know I forgot, and I'm never going to hear the end of it if I don't address it. I want to shout out my beautiful girlfriend who's in the audience. She traveled up here with me. She's my #1 fan, and I love her to death.
This is all inside.
Anyways, you can keep the donos coming.
You got it. We have $25 from Dr. Lilyhammer, who says, the word that describes this donation is redacted. Thank you, Dr. Lilyhammer, for that word of wisdom.
I will fight this. I will find a way.
We have $10 from Spectorette, who says, greetings from the Control Discord server. Absolutely adore this game and so happy to see it in GDQ again. Thank you to all the runners and staff for these amazing events. And thank you for your donation to Doctors Without Borders. We have $10 from Hypest Ivysaur, who says, I wanted to say up and donate as Control is one of my favorite games, so thanks for running it. We all know Jessie is dynamite.
Yeah.
She is indeed dynamite.
And our problematic fave would agree.
All right, so just to recap what's going on in this nightmare sequence, Jessie is becoming to realize that she is capable of being the director. Throughout the entire game, there's been a theme of her doubting herself, and this is her coming to terms with that and overcoming it more or less. She's realizing that the power inside of her has been in her all along.
Dancing to Dynamite right now in my head.
I just saw you dancing. I wanted to join in.
Yeah.
So here's our unfortunately corrupted brother taunting us, but we're going to go fix him real fast.
Incidentally, what is the status of that brother's hair?
He's
Still bald.
He's bald.
He's still bald.
We don't even fix his baldness.
Well,
We just make him happy.
he does get some hair eventually. That's why
Does
he? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to turn around, get one more minute here. I'm just going to set up the first of 2 skips back to back here. This is the 3rd island skip. So normally the game wants you to fight on 3 islands, several waves of enemies using completely cracked out powers, but we don't have time for that. So we're just going to go out of bounds and hit a safety trigger where the 3rd island is going to come up for us, like so.
This is the strongest we've been in the entire run, and we don't fight at all.
You don't even get to see it, yeah. And then right here, we're going to wait for energy to refill. We're going to come up here. Dash, dash, dash. Wait for regen. And then we're going to spam dash all the way to the end of the game. So time is going to come up as soon as I touch that man's beautiful bald head.
This beautiful man.
And that is time. So that has been Control. I'm going to give a huge shout out to GDQ. Thank you so much for having me here. I want to give a shout out to this Restreams. There's like 5 or 6 official Restream channels, all of them with dedicated commentators who actually come in and ask me questions about how this game works, how it's broken, so they can repeat what I'm yapping about to others in their own language. So that is such a cool thing to me. Shout out to the tech team. They have been so incredibly helpful through every step of the way. And once again, if you guys have any shout outs.
I do not.
Oh, I do. I want to shout out Vita at Remedy.
Shout out Vita.
And my friend Caleb and the Lady Arcaders.
All right, we're going to skip ahead. We're going to hit something that's probably the most important thing in the game here.
Shawshank Redemption.
Let's go.
And with that, we're done. I'm Ashley93oBTW, and this has been Control. Thank you so much.